We've all been there. Your first base in No Man's Sky. A tiny, dirt-looking shelter thrown together with wooden panels and hope. It's primitive, clunky, probably sitting in the middle of a stormy wasteland next to a rock you now call front yard decoration. But like your first car, the one that rattled every time you hit 40 miles per hour, it had soul. It got the job done, kinda. But let's be honest, it's time to move on, because today I'm going to show you how to build a base that's not just functional, but actually stylish, clean and so easy to construct. You could slap it down during a sentinel ambush and still have time to admire the view. So here it is, completely free. The blueprint I call the last base you will ever need in No Man's Sky. Built for beauty, designed for function, ready to go anywhere. And the best part, it's fast. You can build this thing on any planet in about 15 minutes or less. I'm OODA and this is my gift to you. Crafted with love, tested in the harshest biomes and wrapped in pure building joy. As always, I value your time, so let's get into it. Most late-game bases in No Man's Sky go to extremes. They are either so over-designed they lack your game harder than a corrupted freighter, or so underwhelming you would swear they were built during the tutorial. By that point in the game, many players are simply too tired to keep building sophisticated bases on every newly discovered dream planet. After over 1,000 hours of play and more questionable design choices than I care to admit, I've crafted a blueprint that hits the perfect sweet spot. Sleek, modular and packed with everything you need. We are talking full storage, solar power, refiners, terminals, teleporter, the works. This base also solves the real issues players rarely talk about. Glitchy builds that barely load, decorative clutter that serves no purpose, and that eternal question: what do I actually need in a base that isn't just for show? Now that we know the purpose of a base, let's start today's build with a quick overview of the required parts and their purpose. You can use the timber, stone or alloy structure sets for this base. They all function the same. I will be using timber for this demonstration, simply because it's got that clean, modern, cozy cabin meets Space Pioneer look. For some extra flair, I'm using timber-framed glass panels to create a transparent floor, which gives you a stunning view if you are building over cliffs, water or just want to feel fancy. But if that's not your thing, no worries. The standard timber floor panel is solid and comes unlocked by default. So let's summarize the components you will need. Landing pad ensures your starship spawns at the base, not somewhere random. Timber ramp, essential to elevate the base above the ground. Timber framed glass panel for a transparent floor. Timber floor panel sets the foundation for storage containers, unlocked by default. Base teleporter unlocked for free for all players. Save point lets you save progress while building or refining, especially handy when switching saves to prevent material loss. All storage containers unlocked for free as you progress through the main storyline. Solar panels and batteries ensures a consistent power supply anywhere. Deep water chamber, yes, we are using it on land for its beautiful panoramic walls. Holodoor looks incredible when installed in a deep water chamber. Galactic Trade Terminal provides instant access to the trade network from your base. Weapon rack gives you access to spare multi-tools whenever needed. Medium and large refiners equips the base with powerful refining capabilities. Electrical cloaking unit hides all wiring for a cleaner aesthetic. If you are already unlocked the storage containers through the storyline, your total salvage data cost, even for the high-end pieces, should stay under 50 salvage data, with the refiners and weapon rack being the main investments. You can absolutely start small and unlock the more advanced pieces later. This base is modular and expandable, meaning you can keep evolving it as your needs grow or as your creativity kicks in. Throughout this video, I will show you multiple ways to expand or tweak this build depending on your playstyle, whether you are going for utility, aesthetic or both. Now let's move on to the building principles. Here is something important to remember. In No Man's Sky, gravity is more of a suggestion than a rule. Structural integrity? Not a concern. You can float entire structures in the air like you are defying physics. Because you are. So, why do we start with a ramp? Simple. Terrain in the game has a nasty habit of growing back. Even if you flatten it perfectly, it often reappears later and messes with your base. It's like nature saying, "Nice try." The ramp lets you sidestep this issue completely by elevating your base off the ground and future-proofing it against rogue flora and terrain glitches. This problem has been around since base building was introduced, and despite all the updates, it's still here. So this is our workaround, and it works beautifully. Another bonus? This setup uses very few parts, which means faster load times when you teleport in, lower chances of falling through the floor because the base didn't render in time. Yes, that still happens, even on high-end gaming PCs. Massive, complex bases often fail to load properly when you teleport in, especially if you are landing on a floating platform. Here is a key tip. Base load speed is affected not just by how many parts you use, but also by the complexity of the surrounding terrain. The base I'm demonstrating in this video is built on a hilltop with a stunning view of valleys and distant mountain ranges. Beautiful, but tough for the game to render quickly. So don't be surprised if your character occasionally falls through the floor on first load, especially when starting the game. In contrast, my ocean shore base never has that problem. Simpler terrain equals smoother loading. Pro tip for permadeath players: if you are building a sky base, never go AFK on the loading screen unless you are absolutely sure your teleporter is placed above solid ground. Otherwise, if the floor doesn't load quickly enough, you might fall all the way down a deep canyon and risk rage quitting your save file. That said, if you pick a peaceful oceanside location, there the sunsets are gorgeous and the days are relaxing, you will probably be safe to vibe from the start. With all that out of the way, let's move on to the fun part: building your new base wherever and however you want it. We will start by placing the base computer wherever you like. The exact spot doesn't matter too much, just make sure it covers the area where you want to build. I personally like to hide it somewhere slightly off to the side. It's still easy to access, but it stays out of the way while building. And don't worry, you can always move the base computer later if you change your mind. I will show you how to do that at the end of this step. By the way, sometimes when teleporting to your base, your character might appear at the base computer instead of at the teleporter, so placing the base computer in a safe spot is a smart move. Next, I recommend placing a save point nearby. This step is often overlooked, but it's one of the most important things you can do before building. It allows you to back up your progress as you go, so if something gets messed up, like placing parts in the wrong spot or running into a terrain issue, you can just reload your save instead of rebuilding everything. You can move the save point around while building and later position it between the base teleporter and the storage containers for easy access. Now let's begin laying out the structure. I recommend building in build mode as it speeds up the construction process and makes everything much more convenient. To enter build mode, press Z to open the build menu. Select your part, then press B to switch to build mode. Start with a ramp. It's a crucial first step because it slightly elevates your base, helping to protect it from terrain regrowth over time. If you need more height, simply stack additional ramp pieces. For this build, we are using just one ramp, since the base is already on a slope and will be elevated enough. Right next to the ramp, place a timber-framed glass panel, then start expanding outward from there. What we're building here is a flexible but clean floor plan. Extend the panels forward until you have a row of 9 glass panels in total. Once you have the main spine laid off, go to the fourth panel, the middle one, and build 6 panels to the left and 6 to the right. This gives you a large open layout that forms the base of the main area. Now let's focus on the left side. This is going to be our functional workspace. From the row of 6 panels, build out 2 more rows of 3 glass panels each, so 6 panels in total. This gives us just the right amount of space for all the critical base modules without wasting resources or cluttering the layout. Now swing over to the right side. This is where the storage area will go. Start by placing 4 more glass panels to extend the initial row. Then add 10 more in the center, arranged in 2 neat rows of 5. Finish off the structure by placing 2 additional glass panels at the far end and then add 4 timber floor panels on each side to complete the footprint. This combination of wood and glass is more than just aesthetic. It also helps save on resources without sacrificing design. Alright, the basement of our base is complete. Now let's move on to the functional section, starting with the construction of a deep water chamber on the far left side of the build. Not only does it look awesome, but it's one of the most useful utility modules in the game. It provides full protection from storms, planetary hazards and aggressive sentinels, and it includes a must-have feature for any long-term base: the ability to safely go AFK while your character is shielded inside. You might ask, what if I'm building this base on a paradise planet with perfect weather and no storms? Do I really need the deep water chamber? And the answer is yes, absolutely. Besides offering a perfect framework for installing things like the galactic trade terminal and weapon rack, it also protects you from new environmental threats introduced in the World's Part 2 update, like electrical disturbances, meteor showers and even tornadoes, which can now occur on any planet, including those with pleasant weather. While these events are rare, they do happen, and when they do, you will be glad you had this module. Once you've placed the deep water chamber, install a holodoor at the entrance for some extra flair. Want to push the style even further? Add blue lighting for a clean neon glow. It looks amazing, especially at night. Important warning for permadeath players. On gas giants with extreme weather and constant tornadoes, the deep water chamber with a holodoor might not be enough to keep you safe. In my own experience, a tornado actually pulled my character out from inside the chamber right through its stylish holodoor. So if you are building in dangerous biomes, consider using more secure door types to stay protected. Now for the interior setup. Add a galactic trade terminal for instant market access. Place a weapon rack to quickly access your stored multitools. And don't forget the Exacraft terminal. This one is a game changer. It lets you sell unwanted upgrade modules for nanites directly from your base without flying back to a space station. Just select the third option and offload any junk modules for a quick profit. Super useful in both early and late game. On the right side of the chamber, feel free to add any hour terminals you like, or go for some cosmetic flair, like an aquarium or terrarium, to make the space feel cozier. And with that, the deep water chamber setup is complete. Now let's set up the storage containers. There are 10 in total, and we are going to place 5 on each side of the storage area. The trick to making this look clean is to start with one straight container in each row, rotate it just the way you want using the scroll wheel, then enable snap placement by pressing V. Once the first container is perfectly aligned, the rest should snap into place automatically. If you ever mess up the sequence and place the containers in the wrong order, don't worry. Just delete the first and last containers, swap them, then delete the ones in between. After that, place the middle containers back in the correct order, snapping them to either the first or the last container. This way you won't need to realign them again. And remember, to quickly remove a part, just press Z, then C to switch to delete and X to confirm. Above each container, we will place a solar panel. You don't actually need this many for power, but it looks awesome. And here is a bonus. Placing a solar panel directly on top of a container powers it without any wires. It's a clean, elegant solution that keeps your base sharp and clutter-free. And here is another bonus. You don't need to connect the solar panels on top of containers to each other or to the batteries individually. Just link the batteries with a single wire to any part of the row of containers, and the energy will automatically be shared across them all. A super convenient feature that saves a significant amount of time during construction. Place the teleporter in the central area of the base, then position the save point between it and the first row of containers. This setup gives you instant access to both as soon as you land. Now let's talk power. To keep this base environment free, dig a small pit nearby with your terrain manipulator and drop 5 batteries into it. That's plenty to power the entire base throughout the night. Once they're placed, wire them together, then connect a single wire to a nearby container. Next, link both container rows with a single wire to power them all up. After that, connect the deep water chamber and the teleporter to that same network. And just like that, everything's powered. Now for the cleanup. Place an electrical cloaking unit inside the pit, then use the restore function, middle mouse button, on the terrain manipulator to cover everything back up. If you don't bury it too deep, you will still be able to interact with the batteries through the ground. Convenient to checking storage levels if you plan to expand your power usage later on. With power handled, it's time to finish off the utility setup. Place 3 medium refiners and 2 large refiners in the upper section of the base. That's the max allowed in one area. Just make sure the fronts are facing you. They tend to place backwards. If you ever need more, you can extend the base and drop a new set at least 5 panels away. For this build, we will also add 2 more medium refiners to the right section of the base, tucked neatly behind the storage containers. To wrap things up, place a landing pad somewhere nearby. It doesn't need power and it prevents your ship from spawning into your base on arrival. Add a few extra pads and you will start attracting NPC pilots, which means more ships to inspect, extra trading opportunities, and if you are lucky, a visit from a rare exotic starship. If you want to move a base computer at this point, approach it, target it, then press Z followed by C. Confirm the selection of a base computer by clicking the left mouse button, move it to a new position, and place it by clicking the left mouse button again. And that's it! Your clean, compact and fully functional base is complete. It's efficient, organized, stylish and packs everything you need in one flexible design. Storage, refining, trading, multi-tool access and hazard protection. With a little practice, you could build this setup in just 15 minutes on any planet. Your first few tries might take longer, but once you get used to it, experienced builders could complete it in even under 5 minutes. If you give it a try, let me know in the comments how fast did you finish yours. Now let's move on to the stylish customization options. And now we get to the fun part, customization. This base layout gives you a solid, efficient foundation, but what truly makes it shine is how effortlessly you can transform it into something that feels entirely your own. Sure, customization takes more time than the quick 15 minutes basic build, but this is where the real magic happens. It's where your creativity takes over and turns a functional hub into a personal masterpiece. You can recolor every structure, match the design to your planet aesthetic, or go wild with newly added decorative items like fossil displays, turning your base into an alien museum of ancient life. Want to tell a story? You absolutely can. On one of my bases, set on a harsh gas giant, one of the true hell worlds of No Man's Sky, I staged a crushed starship scene, turning the minimalist design into the aftermath of a disaster. Functional and atmospheric. As the legendary painter Bob Ross used to say, this is your world. You can do anything you want. The only real limit here is your imagination. Well, that and the global part limit. In No Man's Sky, there is a hard cap of 16,000 total base parts per save, spread across all your bases and your freighter. It doesn't matter which platform you are on, the number is the same. Once you hit that cap, you won't be able to place more parts in that save file. That's why this minimalist, modular, yet feature-rich design is so powerful. It looks good, runs well and uses relatively few parts, meaning you can build dozens, even hundreds of these bases in a single save without worrying about hitting the limit. That's perfect for players who love exploring different biomes and want to build across multiple worlds, all while using the same convenient blueprint. One last tip: the more parts you place, the longer your loading times will get, especially if you pack too many objects into a single area. That's just how No Man's Sky handles base rendering. Other than that, go wild. This base is just a canvas. What you create on top of it is entirely up to you. Let's break down a few popular expansion ideas next. One of the biggest strengths of this build is just how flexible it is. Once the core setup is complete, you can expand it practically any direction, literally and creatively. For example, you could extend a new wing for plant farming, linking it directly to the deep water chamber. You might choose to add more refiners, additional terminals, or even build out multiple landing pads. If you are running a resource chain, you could install a full supply depot nearby to automatically collect harvested materials. It integrates beautifully into any kind of playstyle, whether you are just starting out or you are deep into endgame content. But the beauty is you don't have to expand it. The setup already gives you everything you need for long-term sustainable gameplay. You've got access to all 10 storage containers for neat organization and quick retrieval of your materials. There are 7 powerful refiners ready to process your resources efficiently. A galactic trade terminal is built right in, so you can buy and sell without ever leaving your base. The Exacraft terminal lets you scrap tech modules for nanites on demand. And the weapon rack ensures your multi-tools are always within reach, ready for any situation. And if you have our personal preferences based on your playstyle, like cooking, feel free to add as many nutrient processors as you need without changing or expanding the setup. You can also place a single one just for extra storage. If you are a new player going through a tutorial, this base has enough space to place any additional terminals needed to progress through the main story, and once you're done, you can always remove them. This base isn't just a starting point, it's a fully functional hub that supports your adventures no matter how far you go. Pair this with your freighter setup, and honestly, you only need 2 main bases in the entire game to cover all your core activities. Everything else, from stasis device farms to mining operations, is just bonus. And here is the part I personally love the most, the view. Because this base has such a small footprint, it integrates beautifully into the terrain. You can place it almost anywhere without disrupting the environment. If you set it up right, it frames the surrounding world like a living painting, complete with stunning sunrises, sunsets, alien wildlife, and starships streaking across the sky. In my case, I built this base on a dreamlike paradise world located in a purple star system. These systems are unique, powered by the new landscape generation technology inspired by Hello Games' upcoming title Light No Fire. Purple Star worlds feature stunning, exclusive terrain formations, towering cliffs, lush meadows, glowing skies, and unforgettable starfalls. Building here isn't just practical, it's an experience with breathtaking views that makes every moment at your base feel truly special. If you are wondering how to find a planet like this for yourself, I've got you covered. I've packed everything I've learned from over 1,000 hours of exploration across the last 6 months into a single video, my ultimate planet hunting guide. It's loaded with strategies, tips, tricks, and hidden mechanics to help you track down your perfect world faster and more efficiently. I spent 3 full weeks creating that guide, and I can say this with confidence. You won't find anything else like it on YouTube. It's the most comprehensive guide on the topic ever made. And here is the wild part. One of my crew members told me they are already watched it 3 times. That kind of support for a small starting YouTuber, it's unreal. If you're coming back for more, thank you. That's why I keep making these guides with the best quality I can deliver. And with that, our base building journey comes to an end. For now, if this video helped you build something awesome, consider hitting that like button and subscribing to join the crew. Already part of the team? Smash that notification bell so you don't miss any of the high value guides coming your way. Because let me tell you, I'm nowhere near done with No Man's Sky. There is so much more to explore, build and master, and I've got a whole fleet of videos in the pipeline designed to take your experience to the next level. Until then, this is OODA Looper signing off. Stay creative and curious, and I'll see you in the next one.